All right, hey everyone. So real quick, I want to talk about Betty White making headlines yesterday. I noticed that she was trending on Twitter, and it was about her vacation home, vacation house that her and her late husband both bought back in 1968. So this was located in Brentwood, Los Angeles, and one thing that immediately stood out was we all know that Betty White died at the age of 99, and her previous birthday, or her birthday, was January 17th. But if you ran it from the previous January 17th to her making headlines yesterday, it was exactly 99 days after her birthday. And so again, like, what are the odds there? Because that was a big number in her death, because everyone was looking forward to her turning 100. And another thing too, yesterday was the 116th day of the year, and they're bringing up, her Brentwood home, and I believe it's even Brentwood that equates to 116. And they say, if you read the article, that the house was built in 1952, which is interesting because Betty White does carry that 52 in her name. The reflection of stroke, right? Because stroke has that 25. They said she died of a stroke. But just something I caught right there. So yeah, Betty White's beloved Brentwood home of more than 50 years listed for $10.5 million. And the way that they put $10.5 million, whenever I guess it's technically $10.575 million, but $10.5 million makes sense because her full name, Betty Marion White Ludden, equates to 105. And just to point out too that her late husband, his birthday was October 5th, a date that can be written 10/5. And again, both of them shared this home together. And here, yeah, it'll state that they bought the home in 1968 after marrying in 1963. And that's interesting too because Alan died at age 63. But taking a difference in years, 2022 subtract 1968, that means the home was purchased by them 54 years ago. And they're referring it to as their vacation house or vacation home, both equating to 54. And just because I mentioned her late husband, Alan Ludden, I wanted to bring up that they're going to reboot the television TV show, game show. It is Password, and that's what Alan Ludden hosted, the TV game show Password. And it was just a couple of weeks ago on April 12th that they announced that Keke Palmer will be hosting the new reboot of Password that NBC will now be hosting. So a little bit about Keke Palmer that was interesting, and notice that Jimmy Fallon will also be the producer, but he'll also be starring in the show, I guess, too. What's interesting about the date that they announce her as the host, April 12th. April 12th is the 102nd day of the year, and Ludden, the previous game host, was his last name, Ludden, equates to 102. Jimmy Fallon has that 102 in his surname, Fallon 102. And Keke Palmer, which I'm not all too familiar with, but it says that she is known to have a television show, daytime talk show, called Just Keke. And Just Keke also has that 102. And yeah, we know 102 to be a number stamped on Black people with the words like slavery and the N-word. But I mean, in this regard, it's pretty interesting to see how much it does correlate with the game show Password. Because if you take a look at their Wikipedia and stuff, the original release date, the first day that it aired, was October 2nd, a date that can be written 10/2, like 102. And what's interesting with that, if you take April 12th, the day of this announcement of her becoming the host, April 12th to the upcoming October 2nd, the anniversary date of it first being released on air, it's exactly 173 days difference, and Keke Palmer equates to 173. So perfect alignment, perfect day for Keke Palmer. And just taking a look at Password, I thought you guys would notice right away if I showed you here that the number of episodes for CBS primetime, there was 201 episodes, right? And that's something that's always probably going to stay the same since NBC is now picking it up, so that 201 will always be there. And notice that the creator of the game show Password is Bob Stewart. And so just taking a look at Bob Stewart, His actual name is Isidore L. Steinberg, and his full name, the way written there, it equates to 91, like how he died at the age of 91. They even say his years active as a television producer was 1956 to 91. And he also created To Tell the Truth, The Price is Right, and Pyramid. But interesting to see just the alignment with him, because from his death date to what would have been his upcoming birthday the following year in 2012 was 115 days to his birthday. And the word password, the game show password, equates to 115. And, words like Masonic equate to 115. And whenever I was just doing a Google search on this game show, one of the images that popped up right away is this one here with the word Mason. So I'm guessing that they're trying to guess the word Mason, and I wonder how they described it in that television show on that episode. That'd be kind of interesting to hear. But that's all I gathered on here, just doing a quick decode. But again, perfect day for Keke Palmer to take over on the 102nd day, or for her to be announced as the new game show host. And of course, Betty White making headlines 99 days after her previous birthday when she died at the age of 99. All right, we'll see ya.